So there's lots going on in Balkan in terms of leagues. The teams just need to get involved, and they'll continue to grow. And then if Asia comes on, we got truly a full world
a global
domination.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess the cool thing about GPlay, one of the coolest things is the fact that they've kept their lineup pretty much the same for so long. I remember practicing versus, well, they weren't GPlay at the time, but this team for, well, when I was active, which is starting to become a good while ago. So these guys have just been going at it as a group, and that's why you're seeing results as we did in the first game. You know, all of a sudden they're taking down teams like LGB.
So I looked away. Who won that knife round? I was actually just checking to make sure I wasn't dropping frames because it seemed like I was. I'm not. I'm not. We're fine, guys. Don't worry, chat. I'm not. But I missed it. Halvor, tell me what happened.
Well, basically, it's your standard knife round. People go at it with no regard for human life, and LGB came out on top.
So they win the knife this time. Last time it was GPlay. Okay, well, there you go. Glad you were paying attention. I wasn't doing my job. I was doing my job, but I was doing a different job, therefore not doing my job, and therefore you had to cover for my job. But we are going to get back into pistol round number 1. And LGB setting up a standard defense, actually, really standard. Actually, not quite. They do have PRB that's stacked up on B for the early presence there. But the problem is he's late in this rotation, and they're actually creeping in toward the apartments, but they're doing it slowly. So PRB should get back around to the A site in time.
Yeah, I guess NKL is the kind of the guy to watch because he's the one with grenades on GPlay's side, so he's going to be the guy setting things off for the Bulgarians. So it's going to be interesting to see where he opts to smoke off and where he wants to pop flash. It might just be a really standard arch smoke here, and they're just going to, well, basically do a split of quad and apps.
Good shot from Jacob. Again, he continues on. He's been definitely their top player. Spy Leader actually kills himself on the drop out of apartments. I was about to say that's another team kill, but it was onto himself. I don't know if that counts or qualifies. It's all just suicide. But bomb in position to be planted as PRB comes around the corner. Good reaction shot on Bubble after he took down Dreamer on the first one. And this leaves only NKL remaining. He's in Boiler. Doesn't spot that cross from Paulie. Paulie might have heard him drop, actually, as well. So, yeah, he did. Yeah, comes around the corner, and Paulie's already turned back and is staring him down. So, well played in LGB this time. They did win the pistol in the last map. This is where the eco came out for GPlay, so we'll see if they can do one better this time.
Yeah, LGB definitely have to do better than what they did on Mirage, and I guess the benefit here is the fact that they are on the CT side, so they can't really run into a stack. But still, they're going up against 4 Tech 9s, and that's scary enough as it is.
NKL pushing into Banana early. Passive play from Rubino. Look for Paulie to try and smoke or flash him back as soon as they get onto him. Yeah, his flash was already in hand. He actually gets away without needing to use it, but they were going to basically go for 1 to peek, 1 to cover. And Rubino gets back inside the corner, and with this P90, that flash goes over. He walks out. 1, 2, 3. They get behind the car, so we won't find the third. It actually ends at 2. But they very nearly lined all up. Well played on the teamwork there from LGB. This is a much better start to this map already. Just in the simple things, as Mystic's going to push down. They've trapped them in Banana. This is much better already in terms of teamwork from LGB in this matchup. Super early to read. I know that's a big statement, but that's how slow they were to start on Mirage compared to this.
Oh yeah, for sure. They looked really disjointed. Even in that anti-eco they had on Mirage after running the pistol on the T side, they did weird stuff. Like, they didn't work as a unit, and that's what we saw just now was the complete opposite of that. You had the perfect pop flash from Paulie, Rubino taking advantage, and not getting too greedy either, because you could see that he was looking for that third kill, but as you said, they ducked behind the car, and he just instantly realized that, well, enough's enough. I'm just going to fall back and play it safe.
And Rubino takes that P90 right back into action again. Damage done to Spy Leader, down to 24 for him. But he falls back inside the site, and this time he's way back in the site. Paulie's the one that's up close on Orange's one. And they do still have lots of nades. No one dropping a single nade so far on the CT side. So they're getting information without even having to delay. Of course, that's the advantage of having the guns out. You have that confidence to go for these peaks, but it's still encouraging that they're willing to take those angles and take those fights early.
Yeah, a bit of a scary thing here for LGB is the fact that they're rotating heavily over towards that B bomb site.
And NKL is going to make them pay for that. Mystic did get one down mid on Spy Leader. That'll give a bit of a read that there's more than one at A, because obviously the second one took him down, but NKL picks up the rifle now. And Jacob drops, so they pull this back to a 3-on-3. They get a bomb down. That's money in the bank. And NKL throws the rifle back to Bubble. That's a smart play because he only has the 14 HP. Now he can go on a reconnaissance mission and try and figure out exactly where the retake's going to come from. And so far it's coming around the front side. Paulie wants to take this fight into Boiler, but he needs to make sure he checks into the room. He does. Well played, catches Dreamer, and he's actually in a great position to get behind NKL now. And NKL does pop out, but no HP. Like I said, 14 So not much he can do, but Bubble with the rifle manages to get the first one on the defuse. They haven't found him, second one as well, and he has the Tech 9. They do this. Another eco for GPlay through the smoke, and he's also going to get away. Yes, yes, he does keep the rifle. Well played to throw that rifle to Bubble.
That round was simply down to 2 players, NKL, and picking up those 2 first frags, and then having the presence of mind to actually drop that weapon off to Bubble, and he just played that smoke brilliantly. So that 1v3 couldn't have played it better. Just really solid done. And LGB, on the other hand, made a huge mistake rotating over 4 players over towards that B-bomb site for only Victor on an eco, and I think that was completely unnecessary, and LGB are definitely going to be kicking themselves for doing that.
Need to bounce into Boiler. No damage dealt. Actually goes a little bit light on Mystic, who's fallen back out the other side of the doorway. Look at this shotgun from Jacob. Come to Papa Dreamer. I got a nightmare waiting for you.
He's just waiting. Spider's trying to clear out Boiler, though.
Spider's made a lot of noise. That pulls them back, but Jacob does get the shot on Dreamer at the exact same time that we saw Mystic get the shot on to Spy Leader, so Victor drops. This is all turning back. They did force out. This was a decent choice to do so. And they'll catch off Bubble trying to come up mid as well, so all NKL that remains. Good start to take that eco round, but as soon as they get the guns out, it turns back the other way. So LGB, this almost might... I'll look at the money in a second. This almost might work in their favor based on how much upgrades they had to do in this round.
If they can stay alive with people, this is definitely going to be for the better, pretty much, because this sends GPlay back to start. You can see Dreamer, Victor, and NKL all down to 1,500.
It's six and one half dozen of the other, because at first gun round, you might potentially be on 3-1. Now you're on 3-1. You've already got the first gun out of the way. They get another chance to go 4-1. On a bit of a force, though, they are going to get out a couple of Galils to go with these Tech 9s. So interesting buy right now from GPlay.
This is super interesting and just very weird. So, I mean, barring any massive mistakes from LGB, this should be a really easy round for them to pick up. Because GPlay don't really have any needs to work with. They have a smoke on Bubble. That's it.
Mystics push well down in Banana to get some better read and force them back toward middle. Jacob does drop, though. Victor finds your first kill inside apartments, and where he's playing aggressive, they have no one to cover off from pit side once they enter from the truck, and as a result, they do take down PRB. The last remaining player at the A site, and bomb plant comes in immediately after. So the aggressive play in apartments, you pretty much have to nail that kill, otherwise you give up your entire positioning on the right side of the site. And as a result, post plant set up. Pauly, Mystic have a long way to go. In fact, Pauly's all the way back down alt mid. I think they're just going to go for the save.
Yeah, they just have to go for the save. And there's no really point in actually getting exit kills either because they're so low on economy. So it's much more worth to them to actually stay alive than actually picking off 3 people from GPlay and then dying. But again, that was just a massive mistake from LGB. The fact that he took that challenge in apps, completely unnecessary, instead of just falling back and allowing his team to rotate around and give themselves a better chance of holding it as a unit.
So back to 3-2. That force buy pays off. That's the key.
Yeah. So definitely well played by Victor picking up those 2 frags with the Galil, which is not as accurate as it used to be in the other iterations of Counter-Strike. In this game, it's kind of all over the place, but he definitely made it work right there. I
have to agree. The FAMAS out of the 2 secondary rifle buys seems like the better option in so many ways.
Yeah, especially because you can actually put it on a burst mode as well, if need be, if you want to get those quick, direct shots.
What is Bubble doing in spawn? Do we have an issue? I wonder what we're going to call... yeah, they're asking for the admin, actually. NKL, I think we're going to have to match medic this because the pause didn't come out. I don't know if they called for the pause, though. Restart in 3 seconds. Have fun, have fun, have fun. Back up the round. Timeout. DDoS. Uh-oh. DDoS, they're calling. That's not good. I shouldn't have read that out loud, but that apparently is the problem.
His ping isn't spiking, but there he goes out, so...
Yeah, so I think they're going to have to reset the round. I think LGB's still actually, they're still holding their default positions, wondering where the hell GPlay are. We'll see what the admin decision was, because they didn't actually cause the pause in the freeze time. I didn't think they realized till after.
Yeah, I guess... Where to go from there? Because if it's after the freeze time, then the round should be played out. You know, if you go by... I guess ordinary rules, but nothing had happened, so I guess nothing is actually gonna, no one's gonna be pissed about actually resetting it. Yeah.
Straight restart. Well played.
Yeah.
So
I guess
Mr. Camilla.
Yeah. I guess the only thing it could be miffed about is having to rebuy your weapons, which is a hassle, and it's tough to work around those buy menus.
Yeah, they'll just call for the pause now that we've already reset it, so that means we'll be a lot quicker to restart once. Not Spy
Once we
Leader.
get going, yeah.
Who was it?
Oh, just a bubble.
Bubble, thank you. Bubble butt. Bubble, bubble, bubble butt. All right, I'm sorry. I had to. No, but I want to go back to that round, though, because if a player gets caught in apartments, as he did, and like you said, the second player's all the way over front library, they actually dropped the other hold who is just coming back to the site right out in front of A. The problem is there's no one close support. Usually if you're going to get aggressive in apartments like that, you stack up your truck side so you can fall back and still secure the site. Because if they play it from the long side of Arch, you've already given up your default plant spot before you can even get into position to secure that. So
exactly.
You're almost seeing teams that if they are going to get aggressive, you often see sort of maybe one toward boiler stairs, one inside the back hallway, and then the third guy's sort of hovering around the front truck to atrium just to make sure that he can cover off whoever dies first. Because if you give up that much space, as soon as they kill that first player, we saw what happened. You had one kill here, they walked out, and the other players were already working up the front of the bomb site. There was nothing they could do to prevent that plant.
And I, in addition to that, the fact that they might have been expecting an eco round coming up from GPlay, because GPlay did a really weird force buy with dropping 2 Galils for Victor, and I think it was Dreamer who had the other. But in any case, if you're not really sure what you're going up against, I mean, sure, you could assume that you're going up against an eco, but when there's been back and forth rounds like this, you can't never be really sure. Especially if you don't have that much information on how a certain team plays given rounds. I mean, if it's Envy, then you could probably expect a force buy, but if you're not that familiar with your opponent, then you should always play it safe. And the guy from LGB taking the challenge and apps there without really knowing if it's a Tech 9, if it's a Glock, if it's a Galil, what have you, that's a mistake. Instead of just peeking, getting the information that he's actually there, then falling back off, dropping down into pit so he can hold people off for an extended period of time that allows the rest of the LGB team to actually rotate around.
Yeah, I mean, even if he wants to take the fight, the positions weren't there to support it. I kind of agree. If you don't have information or understand the economy situation, it's probably not best to take fights that you don't really know what you're going up against. Because we saw the round where they actually got really aggressive in apartments. We saw Jacob have the shotgun to cover off one angle. And I think it was Spy Leader got inside Boiler, and I believe...
Yeah, Mystic picks him
Mystic,
off.
exactly. That's who it was. Mystic got him, and they were both there to support each other. But if he goes solo, if he dies, that's like having a player that's playing Banana solo way back up at the top. He dies, the bomb site's already exposed before the rotations come back over. You kind of have to have a play to say, like, okay, you're kind of risking, you're taking an aggressive peek. What's our backup plan to that? And they didn't have one.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, the best backup plan you can have is not having the I guess, the most vulnerable guy on the map take that kind of an aggressive stance and that big of a risk. Which, is easy to say in hindsight, but that's kind of how everything works when you're watching a game, because you've got the full overview. But just by, I guess, default logic, you should be, the guy's most vulnerable, he should not be the one playing the most aggressive or doing the most risky plays.
Yeah, we're just still waiting. He's at TeamSpeak. Join any server rebooting the router. Okay.
All right. So at least he's on TeamSpeak. So we're getting one step closer at a time.
One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
The song references.
Wow.
They're real.
Linkin Park, holy moly.
Took us right back to 2003.
I used to listen to that song while I was going to bed all the time when I was a cool kid. I was cool once, Vendetti. Do you believe that?
Damn. Well, I mean, you do look pretty fly in real life. I have to say.
Guy.
I have to say, you do, and especially for a Canadian.
Oh, what does that mean? Did I not bring out my inner lumberjack?
Yeah, I was kind of expecting, lumberjack. The standard lumberjack shirt, suspenders.
I wore suspenders.
A couple of timber. That's true, but not all the time, and not together with a lumberjack shirt.
What was your name for me?
Your name for you?
Should we save that for the next time I wear suspenders?
Oh yeah.
We'll save that.
Yeah, we can do it for the next time.
All right, there will be a next time. Europe, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you should get back here as soon as possible.
I'll try to.
You've been home at what, 2 weeks now? That's already way too long.
It's been a week today.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's been a week. Holy crap! It's been a week today. What? I need to go.
Okay, so how happy was your dog to see you?
Did you not see the video? I posted a video. I tweeted it.
Oh, I did not see it.
I don't know if I'll post it in chat. I don't want to sell myself out here. But yeah, there's a video of her, like, when I yelled her name, she kind of turned around and was like, nah, he's not. Because the problem was, every time I Skyped home, my dad would be like, here, talk to your dog. And I'd be like, Jaden. And she'd go crazy. And then eventually, because we did that so much, she'd be like, fuck off. Pardon my language. Wow, I did that. Wow. I actually dropped an F-bomb on stream. I can't believe I did that. That's so rare for me.
Damn.
That's like my second F-bomb ever. I hope everyone writes to Twitch and tells them I deserve to be banned. No, but she eventually just got fed up about it and was like, that's enough. I don't care. So
It's not the real thing.
and not only that, they tore my room apart and painted it while I was away because I moved back home. I didn't want to pay rent while I was in Europe. So they tore my room
Yeah.
apart, and my dog was like, oh, he's definitely gone then. And when I came out of the airport, I was like, Jaden, and she turned around and was like, nah, it's not him. And then she like realized like, oh my God, it is him. And she just like, she didn't really sprint at me, but she started like jumping on me nonstop. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice. So warm welcome.
It was good. It was good. She's a big dog too, so.
What type is she, or what race?
Race? I don't think
But
dogs
yeah,
have races. They have
dog race.
breeds. They have breeds.
Breeds. Okay, well we
There's
call
no
them races.
racism in dog world.
We call them races, or I guess the
They're
direct
breeders.
translation from Norwegian is race.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, she's a husky border collie mix.
Oh yeah, she's a husky because I remember seeing pictures of her, and she definitely looked like a husky.
Yeah, she has the husky coat with if you see her kind of body structure though, and some of the way the color lines work and the tail, or specifically the hair behind the tail, you know she's a border collie.
Yeah,
And if you see her play with other dogs, she pushes them around like she's hurting them. So
yeah. She's an alpha dog. That's what she is.
she's pretty alpha. Yeah, she really is.
All right, so we got Bubble back, which is good.
Bubble back.
But
NKL
we-
apparently has a problem.
Yeah, we lost NKL.
Wow, that's no good. Hopefully they can get this solved. Unfortunately, GPlay don't find themselves in this position very much, and I really do not hope that this is someone bitter over skins right now, because GPlay are playing phenomenal. They deserve this. And if you're bitter over something that exists in a fairy tale world of online gaming with only graphics to include the value, you're a little bit of a low human being. I'll say
Truth.
it. I will say it.
There's a lot of truth to that.
I mean, it's fun. It definitely adds an aspect to it. But, you know, if you're taking it that seriously, I think someone should give you a baseball bat quite seriously. I mean, what? No.
Dropping F-bombs and throwing out baseball bats on people. I mean,
Yep.
you're just going to turn to the dark side here.
I'm pulling a thorn, man. I'm going greedy.
Going full on. Yeah, but I really hope that it's not a lasting issue for them. And I guess, you know, it would be nice if everyone followed, you know, that golden rule of not betting more than you can afford to lose. And I guess, well, there goes Rubino. Back authentication error, so I guess... Can we just play this 4-on-4?
Oh, man. We might... Victor he just puts out the, like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like...
If it's not the one thing, it's the other.
Well, I think what we're going to do is take a short little break, throw some music up, because back authentication errors, unfortunately, can take a little bit of time to resolve. And we will get this back underway. 3-2 is the score. It is Inferno. GPlay is up 1-0 after taking Mirage in a quite convincing fashion. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And as soon as we hear from the admins, we'll get rolling. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you soon.
but she said trust me. These are the stories we will tell. As I stood frozen, infinite, I almost fell, but I got a feeling and my heart starts beating, a sudden rush of feeling alive. This is freedom and I won't change, I won't phase out. I'm no ghost, let me
All right, guys, we're back. It looks like things are fixed up to some extent. Everyone's in the server. They're going to medic the round one more time just to make sure the money is completely in line, as we just saw, and then we'll get right back underway. So 3-2 is our score. GPlay on the terrorist side have picked up the most recent round, and it's been back and forth once the guns came out because there was an eco to start things off for GPlay.
Yeah, it's been back and forth, and I'm not sure if the money situation is all set up as of right now, and I think that might be due to the fact that Rubino has jumped over to an alternate account.
Yeah, Rubino says no money. LGB
Yeah.
no money.
Because to quickly avoid the lack of authentication error, you hop over to a Smurf account and you play on that, but obviously that account is not going to be registered as having played already on the server. But yep, seems like spy leaders are already onto a good solution here.
They can't when eBot is on. Yeah, I had a feeling eBot actually tracks the stats, so it would automatically try to correct, and it would actually bug eBot, I think. Because eBot overrules all in-game commands, usually.
The one to rule them all.
Goddamn eBot. He's such a good guy, but man, he can be a dick sometimes.
I guess, okay, so I guess Rubino might try to go back to his main account, or something to that extent.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to do something everyone hates, but I'm going to alt-tab for 2 seconds just to fix up. There we go.
Damn.
We're good. So, yeah.
I guess this is the one downside of eBot. Because otherwise it makes everyone's life so much easier. And...
Why does that not work with the terrorist team? I can do it with these guys. I can go above these guys.
I guess, yeah, either they have to play with what they have right now, which is obviously not going to be the greatest thing, because they did force up before we had to force and rewind everything. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the GPlay guy seems up to, helping out Rubino so he can sort out his main account. Okay, yeah, but the LGB guys, it's time to go.
Yep.
So we're gonna go.
Yep, we're gonna go.
Oh, Rubino actually. Wait, did he get money there?
Woo! Yeah. Money. So apparently they did do it. So worked now. Okay. Interesting. So maybe eBot didn't overrule. This is cool, eBot. Thank you for listening. I'll buy you dinner later. But don't get carried away.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what the night brings. All right. So we're gonna get back into it, and obviously, with GPlay having won that previous force buy, this is pretty much do or die round for LGB, because if they lose this one, they're gonna have to double eco And all of a sudden, GPlay are looking at 5 rounds on the T side already.
Well, here we go. Back into it. Thank you for sticking with us, everybody. The action resumes. Qualifier back underway. GPlay 1 map up. Looking to go tie this game right now with these Galils out. Dreamer already firing away into Boiler. Bubbles made his way into the tree. He might actually catch them off because Jacob has no idea he's there, so he gets in very quickly. Good response coming out, though, from Paulie to react and get massive damage into him, but he's got so much more company coming his direction. Does pick up 2, but the rotations have to be strong, and Robino's already there. Good read from him to get over to the B site quickly, and he gets inside Orange's 2 just to stay efficient. They will enter the site because he can't hold it alone, but he's already back there, and if they enter and don't catch him out early, they may, in fact, overlook him. But they've slowed it up massively.
Yeah, they really have, and well, they only have 1 smoke left on GPlay, so if that's gonna go to smoke off spawn, actually now our PRB is rotating off, so that this could actually work either way for GPlay.
So they'll split back up. Finally, they do come in. Rubino actually second-guessed it and started the move out of quad. If he was in quad right now, it would be the position to have, but look at the damage he's taken, down to 12 HP, forced out of the site. This does put the bomb in position, and NKL is just going to hold that angle as Victor makes his way back in toward Emo. Spotted up, though, does go down to 60 HP, so they will be able to check that spot, but they have to go so deep in the fight, and that means taking down 2 players before they even get there. Molotov does force NK out, but Rubino's not ready for the shot, and as a result, he drops. But back down to a 2-on-2. Victor holding the front side angle, Dreamer holding the backside. And it's PRB in one way, Victor in the other. They're not going anywhere. 3-3, GPlay, good entry, and that all came down to that early aggression on Banana due to a good push from Bubble.
Yeah, Bubble picking up Jacob. Paulie did what he could and what could be expected of him, really picking up 2 frags as well. A bit of unfortunate timing for LGBs, because PRB and Rubino were both towards that B bomb site, and if PRB sticks around for a couple more seconds, he can actually rotate in towards that coils area after GPlay are down to 1 smoke. And all of a sudden, it's a much harder take for GPlay. But start off the round with the trade here, so I guess something is going in the direction of LGB, but...
Look at Mystic, though. He's going to push all the way up. Oh, he's not going to go much further. But there is a player just to his left side. And as he hears him coming down, is he going to get the shot? That's the question. He slows back up. Mystic's actually wanted to take the fight. No, he's not there, so a disappearing act. He jumps off the bridge, and that means they're heading in over to B. NKL's going to take down PRB, and now Mystic's massively out of position. He needs to get in behind them quickly, but the bomb's already down in the hands of Victor. He takes Paulie. Dreamer gets Mystic in the end, so that flank amounts to nothing. It was so close to being an interesting play, and it turns out it was rather boring in the end. But that's Counter-Strike. It's all a game of timing, and it didn't work in his favor. Yakim's going to be the last to drop, and GPlay now have the lead.
They do, and, well, again, we see LGB forcing up once more. They're not going to, obviously, it's not like that much of a force buy, but you can see Jacob is a bit strapped for cash. He's only got a flash to really show for himself. And, well, LGB needs to start getting several rounds in a row on the board here. Otherwise, GPlay are going to get away with a way too good T side. Because they are a very efficient CT side, and we saw that on Mirage, and I, from what I can remember on Inferno, they're the same way here.
Flash through. Spy Leader, Victor get around the corner, but they cross each other up. Victor does get the kill, but massive team damage onto Spy Leader, who got shot in the back of the head. We've seen that a few times, so although their entries have been good, a little bit of missteps here and there that cost them some damage. And in Mirage, it actually gave up one of the late rounds. Didn't matter, they ended up taking the map, but little things to work on. Dreamer now going to try and smoke off on the Atrium side. Flash out as well. No, thinks better of it. But Victor's found his way up. PRB is to drop, and now they actually have the way around. Rubino's going to go for that pop flash off the roof, but Victor spams away, and he walks directly into it. And now Jacob on the site has to line them both up, and he does actually manage to do that. They walk around and make it easy for him. A Spy Leader comes out the backside, does drop him down in the end, but the bomb's in on the site. Now they have a chance to plant this, and it's all left to Paulie. And 3 crackers for the birdie if he can find the shots. Bomb does go down. Low HP from the first player on Spy Leader. Crosses back over, but his reactions aren't quite there, so Paulie's going to fall off this. But look at the hunt. We can already see it.
Yeah, this is a really good choice from GPlay as well. They know how bad of a state LGB's economy is, so them just giving away weapons just to get down Paulie, totally worth it. And they're not even going to have to give up a weapon either. That was just really well played from GPlay, and again, they're just doing things as a unit. You can see there PRB taking the challenge in Arch right there. normally that's a pretty easy kill for him if only one guy pops up. But GPlay comes up with one or two to three players at a time, so that makes the job so much harder for the CTs, and they make take full advantage of it.
Spyleader very aggressively getting into the connector at top mid. Does spot up one, but can't land the shot on PRB fully. Does take him down to 41 though, so good early damage. This forces him back and has to play more passive on the hole that A. So a bit more room for them to take. That nade missed though. I made the reference last night in the ESEA game that the person who missed that nade was like Shaquille O'Neal at the free throw line. And that Shaquille and Moses were similar because Moses has no hair. It was decent.
That's a pretty solid. I'm assuming that Shaquille O'Neal has a bit of a size advantage on Moses.
I mean, that's what she told me, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, cheeky innuendo.
Well, look at this. All of them up top middle, and they come around. That's a really aggressive angle for Rubino to hold when he knows that they're already lurking up. It was with the pistol, that's why, but it means that they've now separated this A site massively. Paulie wants to try and make up for it by pushing down Banana and getting behind them, but Spyleader does catch out Mystic, and KL still going to watch through this smoke as Spyleader goes one further inside the site. So bomb gets planted, and they'll just wait for these exits. Or rather, these the CTs will wait for the exits, but GPlay will wait for them to go for the peaks if they dare.
Yeah, LGB can only really hope to get a couple of kills here at best. I don't think they have any shot at actually setting a weapon. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, from the looks of it, GPlay are kind of onto it, so they're just going to save all five towards the CT spawn area. So nothing really nothing really working for LGB in any sense of the way. They can't even get those small victories.
Yeah, no, so they take the lead now by 3, and on the CT, or probably on the T side, without winning pistol, this is the result. So GPlay looked to be definitely in better form today. There's no question about it.
Yeah, GPlay have just been playing really well all day, and you can see Victor's, continuing that good form that he showed on Mirage already, up to 8 frags and kind of leading the way for his team. And he's always been the guy to also just be the first guy in, getting those entry frags for his team as well. So he's doing a lot of work.
Good lurk here in toward the apartments. It's Victor and Spyleader. And Mystic's pushed forward, so Victor now takes down Jacob. This forces Mystic to come back. He does manage to take down 2, but that's exactly the problem, as he gets exposed now from the front side of mid, and PRB, because he was smoked off, couldn't hold him off with a crossfire. So this opens up the A site simply due to that first kill. It was a good effort by Jacob, but unfortunately he can't hold both those angles without being deep inside the pit. And NKL takes down PRB with a nice pokeball. Smoke's still out. Second one to go in. They try and go through this, though. They are actually on the inside of it, but Rubino can't get the shot landed on the NKL, who only has his head exposed over top of the statue. And Paulie in this 2-on-1 wants to get aggressive, take the first fight, does get NKL. Now it's up to Bubble to just bait this out on the bomb, and I think the fire is still, it's still there, but he smokes it off. Oh, can he get on this? I'm not sure he will. Nope, not to be.
Yeah.
7 now for GPlay. Wow, this is remarkable.
Yeah, and again, the economy of LGB just completely shattered. They could, or they should go for a force buy because they're so far behind that they actually need to get more CT rounds on the board, but they're actually going to opt to eco. This is somewhat surprising. I guess they feel they need nades, but first of all, I think they need to get better positioning because Jacob, again, gets caught out in a position where there's not enough time for Mystic to really hold anyone off. The second Jacob goes down, it's too late, really, for anything to happen, and he gets instantly picked off, and again, LGB members getting caught out left and right.
Yeah, Paulie drops. This is going from bad to worse right now for LGB. We said that they had a better start this map. They definitely did. They looked convincing in the first couple of rounds, but it's fallen well and truly off the rails since then as the bomb does go down. Still a slight chance here for PRB to get a kill quickly, but he hasn't found the shot. Does get the first, can't line up the second, so that's going to pretty much do it. I think that's the invitation for Jacob to just sit back and give this up. And it has to be said right now for LGB that they're definitely missing Rain. They haven't been able to get an op out much in the first 2 games, obviously due to economy. But Michael Ailey, Rain gone. This is the new roster, and it's not really owning up to much right now. But I have to say, GPlay is playing excellent. Not to take away from the fact that this is LGB's doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. GPlay is definitely playing a really solid game, and NKL and Victor are just leading the charge here on Inferno, just doing a really good job. I think a lot of it, I mean, a lot of this doesn't come down to the player personnel with what LGB are doing wrong. I think it's just a lot of weird decisions and weird positions from the CT side here. I think they're just not playing really solidly as a unit, and that could come down to the fact that it is a fairly fresh roster, in the sense that Rain just recently left for Kingwin and Michael obviously as well. So that might be, it might be some growing pains from the Norwegian side, but right now they're just getting outplayed on every single level by GPlay.
That Kingwin roster's going to be so cool to see once they start playing. Unfortunately, they're not in the ESL League this year at the Pro League because they were late to form, but there's still lots of tournaments going on in Europe for them to be involved in, and hopefully they'll get an invite to qualifiers for the next major because they're definitely a team that has a chance, at least.
At least on paper.
Yeah, I don't think out of the gate they're going to be amazing. It'll take some time. They've definitely got some interesting personalities to mash up and get teamwork out. I mean, they're aim stars for sure, but we'll see if they can play the roles and make it work as a team.
Yeah, that's kind of the alpha omega, really. You can only get so far with good aim.
So Dreamer now looks for the shot outside of apartments, already peeking out toward Graveyard, but look at PRB's angle. He's waiting on the front side. Right outside the door, but coming around and through the smoke, Rubino catches out Bubble, and a little bit of a panic shot from his teammate. Does do a little bit 30 HP damage because he didn't expect him to be there quite so quickly, but Dreamer now does open up from apartments. Hitting that shot on PRB is not easy, but good rotation. Paulie picks up the last two. LGB in much better positions this time.
Yeah, for once they actually have the rotations in place at the right time, and Rubino, they're coming behind everyone from GPlay in Arch. They're picking up the frags, really did a ton of work for them. Makes it so much easier for them to retake the bomb site before GPlay gets into any sort of okay position where they can fight off and fend off people.
Spy Leader jumping around the corner again, looking for that aggressive angle. Did do massive damage onto Paulie the last time we saw, pardon me, to PRB last time we saw that happen, but this time he won't get into position quite so quickly. But there is a deep smoke on Banana, as we can see, so this actually does limit the offense's chances, and they can establish a bit of a presence. So the option now for them is, if they get one deep, one can rotate, and they can put a 4 stack onto A.
Yeah, they could definitely be one of the guys in Banana right now. But yeah, they seem to be opting to hold 2 people here. I guess they might be playing a bit scared, LGB, right now, because they've had so many instances where one guy goes down and that's the entire bomb site lost. And GPlay just waiting, just looking for some, one mistake from LGB to happen and for them to pounce on it. And it seems like they're gonna rotate around towards that B bomb site. And as it is right now, LGB have a okay setup to actually hold this off because Rubino's playing so passively in Arch here that he can easily rotate over and help out the 2 guys on B.
Interesting thing is that they're both stacked up on the inside of the site. So it's Orange's one. No bounce Molotovs because they don't have any to work with, but they could have fired out the first player in Mystic. Instead, it's Paulie to take the first shot. Does win the battle, but goes down immediately after, and Mystic hasn't peeked, so he's still in a good position, keeps them distracted. And even though he goes down, Rubino's there. There's that early rotation you talked about. And he comes through the smoke, catches off Spy Leader, and now it's left to just Dreamer and NKL. NKL tries to get the bomb down, but Rubino catches him, and Dreamer's on the backside for the flank. But I don't think he's got much of a chance here with 3 seconds.
PRB is already onto it, it seems.
Don't take this peek. Don't take this peek. Can't die now. Save that AK.
Yeah, he thought the better of it. And it's not like GPlay have any money issues to worry about. You can see Dreamer and NKL were both above 10k there as the round started. NKL dropping a weapon, I think. Not just buying up for himself, but still, money on GPlay's side is still good, even though they lost the last 2 rounds.
Dreamer heads in toward the apartments. Looks like a decent setup. This time it's a lot better from LGB. This time they get that aggressive hallway pressure, but they also have the support to complement it. And it's PRB that brings out the op to see if he can hold off that initial hallway push. And Dreamer's the one, but he hasn't pushed through yet. They're waiting for a counter push, or at least waiting to get some more information before they commit to this. And they are slowly falling back down mid, as we can see Bubble here with the complexity sticker on the red line. Heading back towards
That's old
Banana.
school.
Super old school, man.
Okay, so PRB does peek out one guy from GPlay popping up in apartments there, and he's going to fall back, which is the right decision to make.
Interesting that he fell that soon, because now he's the man that has to cover the front side. This puts more pressure onto his teammate Jacob. At least he's in a good position behind him to cover off the entrance from the apartment. So this actually still works out to be a good setup, but it's because Jacob's in this backside that makes it work. But Rubino's going to go down. That opens up Arch. Now they have a chance to wrap, more so because Mystic only manages to get one on the rotation. But there it is, PRB. Oh, why is he on the front of the truck? That's so aggressive. He has the angle to hold in the crack. He does get the first, but immediately countered out because he's fully exposed, and Spy Leader lurked all the way around into Jacob, so they get nowhere with that setup. They only collect basically a -1 trade. They're a man down now, and Paulie has to rotate all the way over. He is in a decent position already at top middle, but bombs planted, flash goes out, and that buys him some time. Second one as well. Dodges both correctly, but knows Spy Leader's in pit. Has to get this shot very quickly and bait him out somehow. Does spot his head, but hasn't realized it. Does try and get the shot. Doesn't connect. Paulie goes down. GPlay. That's 8 for them now.
That's 9, actually.
That is 9. That's an update.
Yeah, they're doing that well.
I mean, look at the number
they're
of
looking at
saves
double
the CTs have
figures.
had too. 7th round save, 9th round save, 11th round save. Back, like that's brutal.
Yeah, they're just not getting a lot of things to work for them, and I think PRV there, seeing how both Mystic and Rubino died, they thought it was a B split at that time, so PRV wanted to push out mid and gain some sort of control before pushing behind Banana, but obviously GPlay just wanted to wrap around that A-bomb site. And now, once again, we're seeing a bit of a similar setup to what we saw a couple of rounds ago with Jacob and Mystic, though, but this time they've already taken a bit more damage.
Just trying to flush out these bedrooms and boiler. Up they come. Dreamer gets one. Oh, good try by Spy Leader, because with Dreamer taking down Mystic, that gave him a chance to peek through the hole in the wall to take down the player that was inside the bedroom, but he doesn't win the exchange, so Jacob survives, and PRB takes down Bubble. That's another one out, but just barely gets the gun back out in time. Almost got caught with the nade. Does get Dreamer. Victor counters it, but this gives them the man advantage, and the rotation's already in place, so PRB back at the site has to hold with the op. Rubino's the one that's actually, so interesting, the Rubino's the rotator off Arch side. He's the one that stays B, and they actually call over Paulie to support, and he has the shotgun. So okay,
Yeah, I'm
it's
assuming
in the site.
that's
yeah, okay.
why, really.
Because he could play the choke point on B, but it could be traded a lot easier. So instead he gets in the site. The good news is they are coming toward A, but he's up. Oh man, he's on the pillar. He has to basically wait for them to come all the way in. Goes early, takes the shot, does get Victor. Bombs down as well. This gives him a good chance to try and hold this, as NKL now is the last one left. They know exactly where he is, and Rubino's on the way. It doesn't even matter. Paulie going to close it out 9-6. Much better half. Well, not, I shouldn't say much better, but a slightly better half this time for LGB.
Yeah. So 4 rounds more than what they gathered on, well, on their first half on Mirage. Obviously that was T side though. But this time around, at least they got one more anti-eco in before they lost after picking up the pistol. So that's something going their way. But still, GPlay is definitely in command of this game, and I think it's a necessity really for LGB to pick up the pistol.
I think it's massive. I think it's absolutely massive. What are we medicing? Oh goodness.
Oh yeah, the money hasn't been reset
Wow,
from
interesting.
the previous boss.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine that Pip basically set it to the restart config somehow, so it went to exactly the money they had during that pause. Actually, they're all at 3250.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it.
So...
SMG round, baby. Screw the pistols. Actually,
all right. So yeah, shouldn't take too long to sort that out.
It's good. Both teams being patient about this as well, so this is good from them. There we go. I see a 3-digit 800 on everyone.
So we're all set, and yeah, LGB needs to pick up a pistol around here and not lose the following eco. That's pretty much it.
Alright, well. Pause, unpause. Sorry, good luck, have fun. Everyone's gonna have a good time. Camilla, you're doing great as the admin, buddy. So let's see if they can get things rolling effectively for LGB this time. Remember, they did win the first pistol. They won the first pistol on Mirage as well. In fact, they won, I think, every pistol so far, didn't they? Did they win the T-side Mirage as well?
No, that was really solid G-play execute on A. Yeah.
But Gunner's going to push up. Does take Dreamer, so now this opens up a little bit of a chance to work on A because there's no support for that player to drop over. It's a stack on B, so the only other player remaining is on Arch, and Paulie's going to get beside him because he's so busy doing damage toward Pit. So Paulie just slightly behind the play. That pays off for him as Spy Leader now wants to come through with the support of Bubble, but Bubble's already dropped it. Paulie's not done. There's 3 now for him. He's coming on strong in these last couple of rounds, and they'll bring this up to 7. Good start. Now we might have a bit of a match on our hands.
That was definitely the start LGB needed. And now they just need to make sure that they don't lose another anti-eco, because that's been the bane of their existence really so far this game. You know, getting off to a potentially hot start with winning a pistol and then just throwing all of that advantage away instantly. So I'm curious to see whether or not they're going to do things together as a unit, or if they're going to split up like they did on Mirage.
Flash out to Bubble. Does fire as he crosses back over. Collects a bit of damage on Mystic. In fact, he's going to go back out and get the kill once his vision returns. And Dreamer on the backside with this 5-7. This is the thing with the 5-7. You have so much ammo, and that's exactly what it can do as PRB gets caught. NKL pops out, P250 takes down Gunner, but Paulie gets right back into him. So this is a decent eco round because they've pulled this back down to 2-on-2. They haven't been able to pick up any guns, though, on GPlay's side, but it doesn't matter. Look at Victor! These 5-7s are absolutely relentless. They catch off everyone spamming away. And there was AK's bot. The good news is that, okay, they did actually. Spy Leader got one. I didn't think they managed to get to them after the round.
Still, though, that's heartbreak for LGB. And again, they throw away a round that they should have had. And they run into situations without getting proper information before they're doing it.
3
Obviously,
eco rounds,
yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, that's how sloppy LGB are playing right now. And it doesn't help that they're running into these, like, it's very easily avoidable. Obviously, that time, GPlay did get a tiny bit lucky. Dreamer did pick up a frag on one of the guys going arch through the smoke, which, you know, it could happen. But, yeah, right now, LGB have all the means to actually avoid these type of situations, but no, it just seems like GPlay just has their number right now.
Dreamer on the statue. Crossfire set up with NKL, and Dreamer gets the first one. That's PRB down. I mean, 3 ecos to GPlay. That's impressive stuff. They're almost like envious at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they really are, and well, that's why they're getting off to such good starts, really. So even though they lose the pistol, it doesn't really mean that much to them because they're so efficient with their eco rounds.
And it all comes down to Mystic, who's vastly being surrounded. And it's desperate times for him.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have a lot to gain from this round. Sure, he can pick up $300 by getting a kill, but even if he got a kill and picked up a FAMAS, he's going to be so deep into the map and into the side of GPlay that they're most likely going to find a way to hunt him down if he does pick up a weapon that round. So, not a lot of positive signs showing for LGB.
Crazy to think that this could be over in 2 for GPlay in quite a convincing fashion. A little bit closer on Inferno.
Yeah, I think this was definitely unexpected by most people tuning in.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds were on CSGL, but I imagine they were LGB favor. Again, I mean, they're coming from Scandinavia. They have more of a following. There's more activity there for sure, but GPlay showing off good for the Balkan, like we mentioned, and Dreamer's already going to start it. Make it 2 now for him as he takes down PRB, and he's going to continue to spam away. It's NKL who comes out with the last 2, but Bubble chimes in. Let's not forget about Bubble. It's 12.
Oh, Bubble's doing work. Yeah, 12-7 right now, and well, I guess it goes without saying, but every round from this point on is pretty much a do or die round for LGB, because if they lose now, they're back to eco, and even if they want to force buy, you know, after buying up a single round, then it's going to be a pretty shoddy buy round. So right now, you can see GPlay are just like hunkering with money. Like they're just saving up. They know that they're going up against, you know, not the most scary attacks in the world, so they can just stick to their FAMASs and not waste unnecessary money on equipment. As long as they have their nades, they're perfectly happy.
Setting up this crossfire on B. It is susceptible to being blocked out by a smoke. That forces Spy Leader to have to go through construction and puts a lot of pressure on Victor inside the site while that happens. But they don't take the fight. They actually fall back down toward middle. And there's a decent passive hold right now. 3 men on the back side of A, not even contesting middle. So they'll be able to support each other well if one drops. They just need to make sure that if Dreamer goes down, it actually comes down to NKL, who has to make sure apartment's covered first before he overcommits.
But it seems like this is going to be B-split from LGB. You can see the 3 guys in mid kind of slowly moving their way towards Arch, and so this is going to come down to Bubble here.
Bubble knows that they've smoked him off, tries to hug the wall. There was a bit of a gap, but he couldn't spot it due to the flash, and he was a little bit late getting into position. So he'll try and creep out the backside. Meanwhile, there is one lurk player. Rubino tries to hold out Dreamer, and look at Mystic. Good play to read that Bubble was coming through. Meanwhile, though, Victor did shut down your initial entry onto B. Oh, this is a huge push. Spy Leader does get Mystic, but watch out coming up from the backside. NKL's in an awesome position coming in behind the two terrorist players, so even though bomb goes down, Mystic's already caught.
And a really smart decision from NKL. They're deciding not to push through before he gets the backup from Dreamer as well. So not leaving anything to chance right now.
And Dreamer coming through the smoke, knows exactly where Paulie was playing based on the call from the teammate. Shot at one, he'll take the other. NKL almost dropped there, 6 HP. That would have made it a little bit more interesting to see if Dreamer had the courage to push through with his teammate already on the deck, but that's a round for GPlay again. Another one going their way.
Yeah, LGB did get the bomb down though, so that's something in their favor, but they're going to only be able to afford AK's armor and a couple of nades. You can see 2 smokes and 3 flashes in total for the LGB side, so not a lot to work with, and they haven't been really having anything work their way so far with their set strats, so it's looking iffy if you're a fan of LGB.
Yeah, this is something, I mean, a lot of people discredit online play, but for these two lower tier teams, online means everything, because if you can't perform online, you'll never get the chance to play offline. So this is problematic for LGB in every aspect. They came out cold. They're going to have to address that first and foremost on their own map on Mirage. But there's general issues, specifically on their T side. Dreamer does collect Rubino coming out of apartments. Advantaged angle from inside pit. Quit walking over each other, man. They're lining up, but they still get the shot on Mystic.
Yeah, everyone's so eager to get frags right about now, and LGB have basically been picked apart before they even get anywhere on the map. You can see the bomb's still down in second mid. PRB is the sole survivor for LGB, and he's kind of just trapped inside of a triangle here.
And Victor gets the kill. So we're 2 to the end now for GPlay. Money, pretty grim right now for LGB. The question, okay, they are going to force straight into the force, so they are actually going to take the fight and play for regulation. They don't want to have to fight for overtime point. And I guess that pays off because you're going to force anyway. You've got a money bonus firmly established. If you win this, great. You've saved yourself giving up one more round because then mistakes matter. It's not that hard to pick up one round, just picking up on a small mistake here and there. But if they keep it at 14, they give themselves a better chance to build momentum.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that, as you said, the money bonus is actually working in their favor because if they, it doesn't matter once GPlay is at 15 rounds. LGB doing the right call of forcing up, but they're just getting bogged down.
Bogged down and dropped as well. Mystic does get at least one for them. Victor's still been the backside of the site. And look at that wall of smokes. This allows them to take the fight directly on the rotators that come around from CT before Victor can do anything. So they bring it back to a 3-on-3. Decent execution from LGB, but still lost a few players on entry they shouldn't have. And they haven't spotted Victor. They still haven't found him in the backside. Waiting in emo. Goes for the peek. Yes, he does. Paulie drops and they line it up. He come right back out. PRB tries to follow in the footsteps and he follows him into the grave is all that ends up happening. So it's on to Mystic. In the 1v3, the bomb is dropped inside the site, over by Quad. There's his death. It's Victor to fire away, and they won't get anywhere. It's match point now for sure on GPlay's side. And already out of spawn, so
yeah,
they're going to go ahead and take this AK Galil fight. Jacob has to use just the Deagle.
I'm actually kind of intrigued by seeing Jacob pick up the Deagle because whenever I play with him, the constant thing he whines about is the fact that he can't use the Deagle. It's like his #1 complaint.
Dreamer's holding a nice angle. This does rely on NKL to get the first shot on Atrium to protect him from Boiler, but he's in a good spot where he can drop immediately inside pit and get cover. So interesting angle to hold. Not a lot of players holding this as much as of late, but it is actually still exposed. It is, if you're creeping up the hallway, you can actually peek that low spot before you're exposed to the graveyard. So there is a counterplay to it. It's just a matter of getting that first shot out and catching them off guard with it. So it's a good hold. Jacob does have Deagle, can't land the shot. Desperately tried to on Victor, but not able to collect on that one Deagle.
The rest of the team is moving up towards Arch though, so... And I guess Jacob did have the lesser weaponry out of any of the LGB members, so it doesn't really matter that much, but it seems like they want to go around back towards that B-bomb site. But they don't really have that many nades. They have 2 smokes and 2 flashes, and, well, this is going to be all or nothing.
Spy leader collecting 2. Dreamer now rotates back around. It's all left to Rubino. Does manage to pick up 1, but that's all he's going to get. Just the 1. And unfortunately, it's just 7 rounds. So actually looks more one-sided on this map, even though I thought they were slightly better at performing. It's, again, their T side that can't get anything going. So 16-7, GPlay.